So we'll kind of move into our third round pick. This guy was a little bit of a surprise. And to be honest, when we took him, I was like, I'm not sure I know who this guy is. And then I started reading about him and watching some stuff, and sneakily one of the most excited players I'm excited to watch play for the Browns this season was wide receiver Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn. The dude ran a 4.25 40. It's like we have our own Tyreek Hill.
We do. And I mean, the first thing that every profile on him says is this kind of speed doesn't come into the NFL every year. I mean, his speed is elite.
An Olympian.
Yeah, Olympian. That's exactly how they labeled it.
Yeah, so pretty much this guy was used as just a burner at Auburn. It was kind of just a role he played of, hey, you're pretty much faster than anybody else on the field, so just run by them and we're going to try to throw it under so you can get underneath it. It's kind of the role he played. And, the Browns that was one of the things we said, we've been missing that for a long time, of just having a guy like this that can really stretch the field and allow, some of our other wide receivers maybe to have a little bit less double team or, a safety plan over the top of them on every single route they run. That this is what this guy can give you. And it was kind of interesting on the draft day when we took him and they were talking about him a little bit. He said Randy Moss actually worked with him in a few workouts, and Randy Moss actually had to tell him that he had to slow down when he was running routes, that he was running routes too fast, and that's why it wasn't as crisp. So it sounds like his route running needs a little bit of work when he gets to Cleveland and goes through training camp. So, I mean, this guy, like you guys said, speed kills. And, if he can just be an average route runner with that speed, that makes you above average as a wide receiver, that this could really turn into something. But I think he's a guy that just needs work. I think this is kind of things I've read about is like a boom or a bust type of thing. Like he's either going to be really talented in the NFL or he's going to be a gadget type player in the NFL.
I think it all depends on how much work he puts in, because when Tyreek Hill first came into the league, he was known as just a fast guy, and now he's known as a very good receiver. So if this guy's willing to put in the work to work on the route running and that kind of stuff, but I think he has an immediate impact on the Browns this season. Bubble screens, jet sweeps. You can't double team Odell if this dude's on the field running streaks, because, I mean, you don't have to be a great route runner to just run a straight line really fast and catch a wide open pass. So I think he opens stuff up. Does he start at receiver, and do we see this guy playing, 50 offensive snaps a game? No, but is he in there for 10? And do we get him the ball 4 or 5 times a game as a receiver on bubble screens and stuff like that? I think that's a possibility. Does this guy force JoJo Natson out? I know we just re-signed him, but does this dude start returning kicks and punts? I mean, 4.25 speed, you want to find a way to get this guy the ball.
And I kind of real quick, one thing before Josh, I let you go, just like that boom or bust, the bust scenario that they said that this guy could be is like a Tavon Austin. Tavon Austin came in the NFL and was supposed to be like this phenomenal speedster. Didn't really pan out. Tyreek Hill would be kind of the boom. If he's anything close to Tyreek Hill, this guy's going to get paid a lot of money in his future.
Yep, I know. There was I think, in our group chat and everything, we were talking that night or the next day, whatever, and I think there was a little disappointment in this pick, especially I know I was looking at the board and saying, well, what receivers are still there? I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown from USC was still there. Jalen Darden out of North Texas was still there. There were still some semi-interesting big names, you could say, on the board, and we take Anthony Schwartz. But the more, like you guys said, I started reading about him and seeing what his strengths are and fitting that in with our current wide receiving core. Some of the arguments I used, talking about trading for N'Keal Harry can kind of be applied to Anthony Schwartz in that he has no pressure whatsoever to be, a top option in the offense. You can, like you're saying, but you can almost take him and line him up on the same side as Odell. And now what are you going to do? You're going to send 2 guys over there to cover Odell and somebody to try to – and all 6 – if you got 3 guys over there, 6 eyes are on Odell. And now Schwartz has passed you. All it takes is a split second, and he's by you. And once he's by you, he's gone. I've been watching some tape. when he's even, man, is he gone.
Yeah, if he ran 100 in like 10 seconds or something like that. The dude it's literally, if he wasn't playing football, would be probably an Olympian sprinter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know Andrew Berry came out and said he was drafting for the future, but to me, this feels like a pick that was more directed towards this year, next year. Like, we needed speed on offense. We saw it in that Chiefs game in the playoffs this year. We needed somebody who can just come in and take the lid off the defense to free up Jarvis, to free up Odell, and to even free up Hooper over the middle. So,
I saw some.
At first, it was like, who?
Yeah, I know. I would say I saw some comps. They said that he could potentially evolve into like a Will Fuller type of receiver. And I was thinking, well, Will Fuller, that's all he was. Like, even the first probably 3 years of his career he was a fast guy. He could get down the field, get open, and Watson would just hit him for a bomb touchdown. And then he started working on his route running, and he kind of evolved into more of like a well-rounded receiver rather than just a fast guy.
Steroids.
Yeah. Hey, it's a process. But I think having this guy injecting this amount of speed into this offense, I mean, Blake, you've been saying it this whole offseason, like that's what hurt us against the Chiefs. There was no speed on that field. So this will help.